Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review on the Pump Audio V2 earphones. First of all, I'd like to thank Pump Audio for actually sending me these out for review. They can be found for around £69 on their website, or alternatively on Amazon.co.uk and USA for £69 and $100 respectively. Links will be down in the description below. Also, in that famous little description below, you'll find a website link which goes straight to my written review, which goes into much more detail than this video review will do. So let's get into it. Within the packaging, you get a hard carrying case, which is circular. It's quite small and therefore quite portable, but I would have liked a soft carrying pouch to be also included within the packaging, as it's easier to put in your pocket. You've also got these tips, so you've got foam tips, small, medium and large, and you've got silicone tips, small, large and medium, which are already on the earphones. It's a great inclusion to include the foam tips, because a lot of earphone manufacturers within this price tag don't actually include it, so props to Pump Audio for actually having them. Then you've got a set of manuals and other guides, which it's massive considering they are just earphones. And of course, you got the earphones themselves. So overall, I was impressed with the packaging and accessories. Now, the earphones themselves are terminated by a straight gold-plated 3.5mm jack. I would have preferred to see a right-angled jack over here, but you've got a cable which comes out of the jack, quite obviously, and it's a flat cable design. So the flat cable design is not really often seen in earphones just because it causes cable noise, which is microphonics. Now, the microphonics of these earphones are actually surprisingly decent. They do have a slight bit of cable noise, but that can be completely eliminated if you so wish by wearing them not straight down but over the ear. So it's fantastic in order to have that functionality, and the fact that flat cable design is pretty much tangle free. So however you want to do it, they basically come untangled really quickly. So it's fantastic to have a flat cable. Now, speaking about the cable itself, as we move up, you've got a little Y-split. Now, the Y-split itself has a microphone and is a one-button remote. The one-button remote serves on iOS or Android devices in order to make calls, play music, skip and previous by double and triple clicking. So it's a very useful feature to have. Now, moving up to the earphones themselves, you'll be able to see that they've got a right and left indicator. The right and left indicator is found on the strain relief within the earphones over here. It's a little bit hard to see, but anyway, it's there. And you would have also noticed that the earphones themselves have sort of a metallic kind of look, and that is because they have an aluminium casing. This is also the case, well, from what I know, on the jack and the actual Y-split itself. So it's nice to have that sort of quality, and what's really surprising is that they're extremely light. Given that the fact that it's actually aluminium rather than plastic, it's actually surprising to see how light they are. So I found their comfort to be quite good in that respect. Now, the actual earphones themselves, their looks and the design of the earphones, I would have preferred it to be less kind of flashy. The look of the orange over here versus the actual cable itself is quite different. Hopefully you'll be able to see via my camera, if not via the pictures on my website, that the look kind of, well, to me reminds me of a cheap Chinese earphone, and whereas these are anything but a cheap Chinese earphone. So it would be nice to see a different colour, but thankfully if you don't like the orange colour, you can get them in black, which to me look a lot better. But hey, orange is one of my favourite colours, so I thought it was quite cool to get some orange looking earphones that look like tangerines. Now, I should mention that the earphones have two little things that are missing, or have sort of a con or a problem with them. First of all is the fact there's no cable kinch. Cable kinch is the thing that basically manages the cable between the Y-split and the earphones themselves, and it's a shame not to have that included. Despite them being able easily untangled, I still would have preferred a little cable kinch, which wouldn't have been hard to include. Finally, there's also a bit of driver flex. Now, driver flex is when there's the ear tip, which basically makes noise on the driver when you insert it. Now, this isn't a problem with the foam tips that you use, but if you use them with the silicone tips, you're going to notice that problem. It's a little bit of a shame to have that, and because of that, I kind of knocked it down in terms of its comfort section because of the sound it makes. As I said, they can be worn over the ear and straight down, but that sort of driver flex always makes that noise when you're inserting, or especially when you're pushing just a little bit harder on, say, a bigger sized tip, like the large sized tips. Anyway, moving on, we're going to go straight into sound quality. Now, the sound quality, how do these sound considering how they look? So when I first received them on my inbox to say, hey, do you want to review these, I was very skeptical, because any earphones that look like this basically remind me of really cheap earphones that are basically made for design rather than actual sound. Notable example is like a Beats by Dre earphone. And yes, they do even mention Beats by Dre on their website, but they actually mention it in terms of we beat Beats by Dre by a massive majority of people who listen to him. And I can see why. They actually sound very, very good. Considering a £69 price tag for someone who listens to a lot of different audio devices, and especially different earphones, I was very surprised to see how well they sounded. In my opinion, they sounded a lot better than the Soundmagic E10s, which sit at about £30–40. A lot better, provided a better sound quality and overall sound presentation in comparison to the Fidu A65s, which sit at about £50, but couldn't quite compete with the Dunu Titan 1s, which sit at £90, which means that their £69 price tag is literally perfect. They're not as good as the Titan 1s, but neither are they as bad, shall I say, as a Soundmagic or a Fidu. So it's fantastic to actually hear an earphone that again comes well priced at its price category. And it's quite surprising to see an earphone that's designed like this and with all its sort of marketing campaign behind it to actually sound so good. And I was very much surprised to see how well they sounded. Now then, let's start with their lows. So their lows extend well in the sub-bass region. They have a nice pronounced extended sub-bass, and their mid-bass also has a good slam to it. The sub-bass does cut off after a certain while, and that is to be expected of earphones within its price category. But its mid-bass is well pronounced and is also well controlled, which is kind of hard to find in earphones in its price category. Again, I'm saying price category a lot because these don't compete with £150–200 earphones that I've previously heard. But of course, if you go to a retailer and you see £200 earphones, you'll probably come up to Beats by Dre, and yeah, of course they beat them. But anyway, back to the sound quality. The mids sound good. I wouldn't say amazing, they sound good. They're slightly recessed, but not as recessed as other earphones that I've heard, which basically have a lot of emphasis on the mid-bass and therefore leaking into the mids and therefore pushing them back quite a lot. So their mids sound very good and are well presented. They're nice and forward enough, but not too forward for it to be uncomfortable or too mid-centric, and neither are they too pushed back to make them sound too V-shaped. And yes, they are warm sounding and slightly V-shaped earphones, but not over the top. Finally, their highs are actually well presented as well. They've got a nice extension and provide a nice little sparkle at the top end. Sure, they do roll off again, but given its price tag, it is to be expected. I should also mention its soundstage. Now, its soundstage was decent. I wouldn't say perfect, but that's because of its decay. So the decays made the earphones sound, I'd say somewhat odd, but sound a little bit different. And therefore the sound signature took a little bit getting used to. But anyway, apart from that, its width and depth was good. It was not perfect, as it could be a little bit better improved, but was very good considering its price tag. So overall, again, for its price tag, the amount of times I've said this in this video is uncountable, if even that's that word. Anyway, it is fantastic. £69 for these earphones, considering what you get in the package, considering their looks, if you like that look, or you can go for the black ones if you so wish, and the fact they've got an inline mic, and the actual overall well-rounded sound quality makes these an easy earphone to recommend, and I would highly suggest you guys to check these out, especially if you're in market for earphones around that price tag. Again, I definitely do suggest you guys to check out my review on my website. Again, also check out the links in the description below, as I said at the beginning of the video, if for the Amazon links or the Pump Audio website link, which you can buy them directly there. Again, I highly suggest them to you guys, and definitely do check them out. Anyway, I've been Totally Dubbed, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video and on my channel. And definitely favorite and share with family and friends who are looking for some tangerine-looking earphones, or even black earphones. But let's go tangerine. Alright, guys. Totally Dubbed out. Bye-bye.